Well, Broncos country, Maha salute, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday, man. It is Colts week officially. The Broncos are back at practice, and there's been a lot of really great takes and some key things that I wanted to discuss from the post practice press conference. Say that 10 times today from both Sean Payton and Bo Nix. Before we get into all that stuff, guys, and we start talking about the Colts, if it's your first time on the channel, if you love Denver sports, well, welcome. I'm a native, born and raised here, and I am very appreciative of the community that I've built so far. I'm this close to getting 500 subscribers. So if you can consider hitting that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. In addition to that, if you do that, tell a friend, have the friend tell a friend, and let's build this community, man. I appreciate it in advance. All right, guys. Well, the Broncos are getting ready to play what, in my opinion, is the biggest game since Super Bowl 50. A game that if they win, their playoff odds go up to 91%. And if they lose, their playoff odds go down to 51%, a full 40% swing. Yes, you heard that right. But let's talk a little bit about the Broncos. Why have they been better? Why have they been able to win these last three games? A couple of the games, I felt like if they were played last year, we would not have won, right? But we were able to come across the finish line this time and be able to get the W. And why is that? Well, Sean Payne talked about it a little bit at practice, and let's get into it.
I think we've been better on third down than earlier in the year. We've been better in the red zone. Those are two things that stand out. Done a pretty good job of taking care of the football, but I think our third down, in some of these wins, our third down and red zone numbers have been pretty good.
And he's absolutely right. I think that's been the biggest key to the success and why we've been so much better is because we've been able to extend drives. We've been really good on third down, and we've really limited the turnovers. And if we did turn the ball over, we've still found a way to be positive in the overall turnover ratio by forcing more. And that's always going to be the key, not just to winning, regular season or early season games in the NFL, but especially true as you get into the playoffs and as you get into making a playoff run and playing really the most important football of the season. In addition to that, right, I think one thing that is, something that we've kind of been living by fire, right? We've been living on the edge with it is we've still been in a position where we're putting ourselves in second and third and long situations. But credit to the offense, they've done a really good job of overcoming that, something that we haven't seen earlier in the year. We definitely didn't see last year, but it's not something that I feel like that we could continue to be, continue with. You're kind of playing with fire at that particular with that point. And Sean Payton had talked about it a little bit, and we'll get into it and talk about what he had said and dive into a little bit of numbers as well.
Well, I think staying on schedule, trying to avoid penalties, things that set you back, that maybe become tough to overcome in a drive. But it's a combination of both the run and the pass and avoiding the minus plays, avoiding the sack, avoiding the penalty, the things that can stall a drive or at least make it harder.
He's right. He's absolutely right. It's been happening too much. We haven't really witnessed it or gotten affected by it too much because, like I said, we've been able to overcome a lot of those mistakes. But the Broncos need to continue to be better on first and second down, specifically with the penalties. It seems like right now, the way that the offense has been playing, the trajectory in which this offense is going, I feel like the only team or the only thing that can really affect us and hurt us is ourselves, is the self-inflicted wounds. And I feel like, it's little things, right? It's the small holding calls. It's the lining up, the illegal formations or, an eligible man downfield. Those small things that if you just continue to pay a little bit of attention to, I think they can really clean them up. And I'm optimistic as a Broncos fan because not only of Sean Payton's track record, but because I've seen them get consistently better. But it's something that I think needs to be emphasized a lot more going forward as we make this final playoff push. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I felt like I got a really great vibe from this team. Bo Nix talked a lot about, how he felt like this team was coming right back to work. They didn't really have to kind of ramp into the work week. Everybody was just ready. They're ready to go. And I think it's a very confident group. And it's nice when you can have that confidence going through the bye week because you have a team that is still riding high from the past win or the kind of heater that they've been on, but is able to kind of relax their bodies and their minds as they get back into work. So that gave me a lot of optimism as we get into it. And I think we have a lot of really good leaders on this team, right? And one of the biggest leaders, and I think the biggest voices in the room is Bo Nix, a rookie quarterback, somebody that his teammates has elected him as captain. It is huge. And he talked a little bit about it today, and I wanted to play the clip. So let's
think
let that run.
I was in middle school one time, and my coach told me, you got to be more of a leader, or you're one of the leaders. And I remember asking him, what kind of leader do you want me to be? There's several, and so I think the leadership thing, it's very broad. It goes very deep. I think when there's a leadership opportunity on your team, it's important to provide it. So if that's leading by action, if that's showing up first, or if that's getting out here to the field early, or staying late, or going through an extra play, whatever that means by action, or is it verbal? Does the guys need some verbal cues to get them going? Do they need some the hoorah speeches? That sometimes can be good. Sometimes it can also just be noise. So I think there's service leadership. I think you can pick up the field for the guys, or run an errand for somebody. I think there's a lot of forms of leadership, and so I think the best leaders understand that there are multiple styles, and they do those styles well, and they have a good eye for those each individual needs. And I was told long ago, when there's a leadership opportunity, you just provide it, no matter what it looks like. But in order to be a leader, you got to have followers. So it's important to have the trust of the guys around you, and anybody can be a leader.
And he's right. And I loved so many things that he had said in that particular clip, right? It's just about adaptability, being able to adapt to any kind of situation, any kind of personality. As somebody who, in my current and in many past jobs, I've been looked upon as being like a sales leader, right? And I've always told myself I'm not a natural leader at all. And there are some things that you can learn. But I think for guys like Bo Nix that really seem to exude that natural leadership trait, you're able to adapt to different situations. And I think that that's so important. And it's been something that has really been felt and resonated throughout this team, right? And even before Bo Nix went up, Cortland Sutton had talked about it also. And Cortland Sutton talked about, Bo's ability to just, read the room really well, um, pay attention to the small things so that he can be there in certain situations whenever is needed. And I thought that was really impactful as well. And I think, it's like I said, I think you could see it a lot through the team on the field, off the field. The team culture has really been changing, and it's been because I think a lot of these guys have stepped up into more prominent leadership roles. But you also have a rookie quarterback that is mature beyond his years. That's not only playing super well, but he's leading a group of men. And you know, I kind of have PTSD. I think a lot of us do here in Broncos country about these really important games. When you talk about you get close to the playoffs, and oh my gosh, are they going to blow it like they've always, they've blown it the last 10 years. And I still find myself feeling scarred for it, but I find a lot more comfort. I find a lot more confidence just in terms of the way that this team is playing and the leadership on the team. I think that the experiences has been really, really big. Sean Payton in his second year has really put his uh, footprint on this team. And lastly, and I think most importantly, it's I think because now we have a quarterback that's ready to lead the group into hopefully the promised land. So I want to know what you guys think. How are you feeling? How are we feeling about this Colts game, man? I was a lot more nervous on Sunday and on Monday than I am today. Just because I think you let a lot of things kind of settle in. But it's going to be tough nonetheless. I'm excited to get into the PFF stuff tomorrow. I'm excited to get into some key matchups and the predictions on the Friday session. And I'm thinking maybe on Saturday I'll do some sort of a live sesh, or we'll dive maybe even deeper into the Colts and just talk about some different things to watch out for. So I want to know what you guys think below in the comments. How are we feeling about this game? What do you think about Bo Nix as the leader for this football team? And we'll wrap it up for the day. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Just please do me a favor, right? If you didn't see it already, hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, okay? Spend time with the people that you love the most and cheer your ass off, man. Go Broncos, baby. And until next time, peace out.